Okay, so we're just going to be talking a little bit more about the headlights and the taillights and integrating those into various exercises and functional activities. So this is going to be a little mix and match of different elements of that. So just a recap on the headlights, taillights, basically your chest are the headlights in almost all scenarios. And then the accessory headlights, or sometimes headlights, just like vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y, your sometimes is going to be your hands. So obviously reaching, lifting, that's going to be where your hands are going to be going forward or out in front generally. And then the other thing about the headlights is you remember like elevator and escalator. You want to think about the escalator part of it as being like your car is kind of always going up or down a hill, but it's oriented upwards or facing up the hill. So your headlights are generally going to be up and forward, and your taillights are going to generally be down, back and down, like sitting down into a chair, standing up out of a chair. Those elements are going to be in play. Okay, so a variety of things. Lifting with the hands or reaching. Same thing. When you lift and drive your weights out or up, or a combination of those things, you got to keep your chest up and out. You cannot be sliding down that hill like this, and you don't want your tail lights, basically everything else, going up and forward or just forward in general. That doesn't work very well. Okay, single arm stuff with twisting, turning as well. Another thing to think about here is going to be, we talked about this in the other one, but when you walk, you're going to steer the ship like this. Be very aware of that pulling back here at those ribs, and you may have to correct by lifting up here. But again, headlights up and forward, taillights back and down, shifting back and forth. Integrated into some other exercises like hamstring flossing. I'm going to just use the strap. You don't have to, but there's different ways to stretch the hamstrings, but this is a way that most people don't think about it. If I'm trying to stretch my hamstring by flexing at the hip, I also want to think about pulling that headlight down here and here, engaging the core. And what you actually will probably find is you're going to be able to go farther, and your hamstring's going to relax into the stretch a lot better when you can actually pull an anchor. See, I can go a little farther into that stretch when I engage the core and drive those taillights back in here. Speaking of which, if you get stuck in various situations, not just this exercise, if you're trying to drive your headlights up and forward and it's not working for you, sometimes you just simply have to reverse your perspective and focus more on driving the taillights back. And one, there's more taillights than headlights here, and also that's the other half of the equation. It's not one but both that have to work against each other, just like with rotation. So another way that we can use this all is with another table exercise, or ground exercise. If I'm trying to work my scapular muscles, or those taillights there, I can think about, like, either I can be more in a plank position, or I can put my hand here and kind of work on this. I can think about that, kind of engaging those taillights and working on driving in the headlights on my other side to get that rotation to lift as I stabilize myself on the table there. Finally, another thing to think about, and you can do, is it's going to be me sitting in the chair here. This is really helpful. I do this myself. My collapse a little bit more on my left side usually, and if I'm sitting too long, or if I'm doing documentation, or sitting at the computer, tend to collapse a little bit like this. So I found it's very effective on my affected side. If I put my hand and hold it on the lower ribs here, tuck my elbow, I can actually pull back through those taillights there, and then lift my headlight here, keep maybe shifting a little weight there to lift and open. If I hold, I'll feel those muscles working back there, and I do that for about 5 to 10 seconds, maybe 3 times. It just fixes everything, resets everything in that side. So it's a really quick and easy way to reset all that. And that's pretty much it.